Hello everyone, I am as always the Synapse, and this is Geek Critique. You know, ever since I started this little show, talking about my various nerdy interests for the amusement of the internet, I've been thinking to myself, when did this all begin for me? No. Well, yes. But I meant before that. Who in my impressionable youth first inspired me to pursue so many geeky pastimes? And I think I now have the answer. You see, before Ridley Scott and James Cameron, before Matt Groening and Michael J. Nelson, before Will Wright and Sid Meier, before Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and before Dave Arneson and Gary Gygax, there was a man by the name of Alfred Matthew Yankovic. I'm quite certain that Ricky, the Nick at Night flavored riff on the famed cheerleading anthem Mickey, was the first Weird Al song I ever heard around the age of 7 or so, and it was love at first listen. And if I needed to give my Weird Al fandom any further explanation, I think I'd do it this way. Back then, I didn't much care for music. Where I grew up, my radio could pick up maybe one top 40 station and about a dozen country stations, and their offerings never really appealed to me. But then, one day, Weird Al came to me over the airwaves, and it was as if he said to me, "Don't worry, son, I'm gonna make parodies of all those dumbass pop music ditties. I'll turn their own insipid melodies against them, 'cause I know musical judo!" I mean, seriously, does anyone out there remember this song? Rico. When Weird Al riffed on that song, he turned it into a forum to express his love for Mexican food. And it was glorious! It's all about the Pantenes, baby. In the late 90s, when I started driving, I bought my first 3 albums to occupy my time on the road. And they were, of course, Bad Hair Day, Running with Scissors, and Led Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti. Yeah, by about that time, I decided to give serious music another shot. I just remembered something. On the Running with Scissors album, there's this track called The Weird Al Show Theme. It's like this Pee-wee's Playhouse style theme song for this zany kid show that Al never even had. I mean, who even thinks to do that? Al is some kind of nut, man. Oh, I just remembered another funny story. 10 years after I bought this, in 2007, I'm walking through the DVD aisles of Best Buy, and you're not going to believe what I found. He actually had a show! Yes, Weird Al hosted his own children's variety show Saturday mornings on CBS back in 1997, and I didn't once hear about it until 10 years later. I don't understand. I met dozens of other fans in college. I visited plenty of internet fan forums, and no one ever talked about his TV show. What happened to you, Weird Al show? Why did the world try so hard to erase you from existence after your meager 1-season run? I mean, were you really that bad? Was it Coolio? Was he behind it? You know what? Before I start conjecturing, let's take a look at one of the earlier episodes, entitled Promises, Promises. So, first things first, the opening sequence tells the delirious tale about how Weird Al and his beloved pet, Harvey the Wonder Hamster, came to live in a cave miles beneath the Earth's surface, and land their television contract. It uses classic cell animation, CGI animation, and stop-motion claymation to tell this tale. And it is awesome. Show's off to a good start so far.
Today's lesson is, don't make promises you can't keep!
Never mind. Okay, 1, you don't have to scream, we're all right here. And 2, do you really have to spell out the moral of the story right at the beginning? As unsubtle as those Narnia movies were, they didn't literally start with a title card that said, "Christianity is totally bitchin', you guys." Next, we meet Al as he's kicking back with his buddies. There's 60s mod Barbie, Val Brentwood, gal spy. Yes, she's supposed to be a spy, even though she looks like the daughter of Ramona Flowers, and Oprah cosplaying as Pudding from Space Channel 5. In other words, the ideal woman. Also there's the Hooded Avenger, who is a superhero who lives in the cave next door. So Al suggests that they all watch TV, and the Avenger wishes he could strangle him before they all pile over.
Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Fred Huggins Show. I'd like to sing a little song. Doesn't that sound like fun, baby bully? No. Here's one of my favorites. It's called I Like You.
Oh, brother.
Hey, didn't he just sing that song 5 minutes ago?
Yep.
Oh, I like you.
Okay, so Weird Al created a fake Crappy Saccharine Kids show inside of his real Crappy Saccharine Kids show. Wow, man, that is so meta. I apologize if your Scream DVDs just exploded. Hey, here's a treat for you. In a couple other episodes, Al put together brief music videos for some of his existing parodies that didn't have them, like Lasagna and Living in the Fridge. But Promises, Promises is graced with the only music video that's exclusive to this show. Okay, now I want to see a show of hands. Who here remembers The Prodigy's Firestarter? Anyone? No? Okay, then here's the video. I wonder what in that video Al's going to latch onto.
I'm so angry at my idiotic barber. Got a lousy haircut, a really stupid haircut.
You know, I would have gone for the sewer shark angle. So, what's my payback? £1,000,000 of tube steak! Ooh, ooh. But then again, you know me, I prefer the stupidly obscure references. I mean, geez, last ep I made a Jack Elam reference. I mean, man, who does that? But now we've come to the real treat of this episode, the introduction of our musical guest. Okay, I want you to take out a piece of paper and a pencil and write down who you think would be the least likely musician to appear on a children's television show. In fact, let's make it interesting. Put down your first 5 guesses. Your first 50. It's not going to matter. Your theoretical guesses are not going to be anywhere near as insane as the showrunner's actual choice. And while you're busy with that, I'm going to go hang out with my title card artists. Be right back. And the winner is...
And in other music news, John Tesh continues to wow audiences on his cross-country tour.
That's right, John Tesh, the adult contemporary / classical / Christian music artist and former radio host and sports commentator and creator of the NBC's basketball theme and many other things I had to look up on Wikipedia. I mean, come on guys, you couldn't have booked Hall & Oates. I could at least picture Maneater on one of those Kids Bop albums. But that's not all. Weird Al's crew all proved to be total Tesh heads and gab incessantly about the times they caught fleeting glimpses of the great Tesh.
Listen to this. Last year, John Tesh was signing books at Burns & Bards. I went down there, got him to sign my utility belt.
I can't decide what's goofier, the image of an adult contemporary artist crouching down and signing a superhero's utility belt, or the fact that the utility belt clearly doesn't have any compartments on it. No, I know what's goofiest, the fact that Al becomes jealous of all of his friends' Tesh talk and lies about knowing John Tesh personally.
Well, if you know him, why don't you invite him over?
Okay, I will.
Yeah, and we can talk to him?
Yeah, I think he knows English.
Mr. Yankovic, you are a total douche canoe. But there's good news. Mandark from Dexter's Laboratory is stuck inside Al's wall, and he points him to a very useful tome.
Oh, what's this? Oh,
the official celebrity appearance price list.
Okay, so it would cost me $6,800 to land Bruce Boxleitner. Not reasonable. And JWoww is $15,000. Damn, a little rich for my blood. Oh, cool! Only $70 would spot me 4 Kathy Griffins.
John Tesh. So that's $82,000? $82,000! When we come back, I'll have some kind of ingenious, foolproof money-making plan. I betcha.
What's Al got up his sleeve? Will he keep his promise to his friends, or will he continue to lie to them? And why am I shouting?
I don't know! Maybe the writers are trying to add humor to these insults to the target demographics intelligence! That should help take the edge off! So Al becomes so despondent with his situation, he fails to notice that comedian Judy Tenuta has started a fortune-telling service in his house.
Madam Judy, I gotta level with you. I'm in hot water. I need $82,000 pronto to get John Tesh over here.
I sense that you need a lot of money very quickly.
That's incredible.
Now, I'm sure there was a time when psychics are all fake jokes weren't a horribly taxing cliche. I don't remember when that time was exactly, but I'm sure it existed.
I'm Madam Judy, your psychic gal pal. Do you desire wealth, fame, and corn dogs? Of course you do, trolls!
Hey, I resent that remark. My criticism of this show on the internet is completely genuine.
Madam Judy told me I was going to meet the man of my dreams. And I did.
Madam Judy told me I was going to eat something. And I did.
Madam Judy told me that Val Brentwood, Gal Spy, was coming here right now to play co-op Borderlands 2 with me. Well, I'm off to slash Madam Judy's tires. See you in a few. So the whole point of this interlude is that Judy inspires Al to raise the money by hosting his own infomercial.
I'm here with Al Yankovic. Al, what do you have there today?
Well, Mike, I'm wearing these ear magnets, and boy, do I feel great!
Those are not magnets, Al. Those are horseshoes. There's such a thing as a horseshoe magnet, yes, but they're not actually horseshoes. Like, damn it! Is there no musician who knows how magnets work?
Say, Mike, what's wrong?
I'm sorry, Al. I must have tied my shoelaces too tight.
Well, that would never happen if you had a Yanko shoelace tying gauge.
Shoelaces? Al, if you have anything to do with the shoelace conspiracy from Dark City, you're on my list, pal.
Call now. Operators are standing by.
Al, this next one I'm on cloud 9 about. It's called the Amazing 4-Tined Food Stabber. This little item has a number of practical uses and goes great in your kitchen along with a knife and spoon.
Well, the number doesn't exist? Did I dial it wrong? 555.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Do all of these products really work?
Of course they do. You have my promise.
If they don't work, can we get our money back?
That's the Weird Al promise.
Hark! The glorious image of a comeuppance has appeared on the horizon. And it's moving so fast, it'll be here in no time at all. Needless to say, Al is awarded with his Tesh money in one big wheelbarrow. I need to ask my bank if they can give me withdrawals the same way.
It looks like Al may be able to keep his promise after all. But can he afford to pay the price?
That's it. The writing's there on the wall. The people behind this show clearly subscribe to the Coach McGurk School of Child Psychology.
Hey, Coach, do you think I'm stupid?
Of course you're stupid, Brendan. Okay. All kids are stupid. Every single kid out here is stupid.
Yeah.
The next day, Al's ceiling vomits his mail onto him, and surprise, surprise, everyone thinks his worthless wares are worse than the titty bear, and they want full refunds. Oh, did I forget to mention that Al's animated counterpart is the goddamn Fat Man?
The Adventures of Fat Man!
Honestly, I think these segments are real boons to the show. It's such a natural fit. Weird Al's brought the world more quality entertainment as a hideously obese man than Martin Lawrence and Tyler Perry combined. Our story begins with mild-mannered donut shop employee Al Yankovic, the secret identity of Fuck me! Really? Cops love donut jokes? Hey, Cops Love Donut Jokes! I've set up a playdate for you with the psychics are fake jokes from the first half of the show, and they brought their Zeter cards! Yay! Have fun, you guys! I hope those cliches never grow up. Meanwhile, terror shatters the enduring peace of Whereverville as the streets are flooded with millions of gallons of melted ice cream, thanks to the foul machinations of Al's evil Uncle Frank and the most worthless henchman of all, the procrastinator. Wait, Al, your Uncle Frank isn't evil? I mean, he's the same guy who owns the 2,000-inch TV, right? Geez, just last Sunday he was sweet enough to invite me over to watch The Simpsons from 30 blocks away. I mean, Fat Man is on the case. Okay, while I do like these segments, they are shackled to a pretty strict formula. Fat Man arrives at a food-themed catastrophe, embarks on a stupidly convoluted plan, while stalwart rodent manservant Harvey the Wonder Hamster takes a much easier and saner path, saves the day, and receives none of the credit. Let's watch the fun!
Boy, if only there was a giant who could come and eat all that ice cream, then we'd be saved!
Of course, it's so obvious. I'll just go to every single grocery store in town and buy all the ice, then bring it back here. That ought to stop the melting. I'm off to the grocery store.
So you're telling me that eating untold metric tons of ice cream off of the filthy pavement is the better plan? Yeah, screw you, Gerbil. I'm driving Fat Man over to local Safeway. Long story short, Harvey becomes a mountainous grotesquerie, Fat Man makes everyone snow cones, and Frank Hindenburg's his own dumbass. The world is safe for democracy. And here, Al finally comes clean with his sub-juvenile deception and promises to pay his friends back in later, cheaper, less Entertainment Tonight dependent ways. And the Avenger invites the ladies to meet his good buddy, Joss Whedon. So is that it? We done here?
Well, maybe next time I try to raise money,
Hey, Yankovic, I bought your lousy shoelace tying gauge. It cut off the circulation in my feet. I'm lucky I can still walk.
I know I should be upset that the hamster felt the need to remind us who John Tesh looks like. But honestly, the first time I saw this, I'm pretty sure I had forgotten what he looked like. Thank you, Harvey. I can't feel too bad because Al didn't recognize him either. Oh, bitter irony. All right, play us out of here, Tony Little and Ron Popeil.
That boy was our only hope. No, there is another.
Oh, Star Wars reference. Bathe me in your sweet succour. It wasn't enough. The Weird Al Show Weird Al blows. The Promises episode has a few chuckle-worthy moments, but the waves of terrible jokes, the completely predictable plot, and the tone-deaf casting of the big celebrity guest star makes this episode a disgrace.
You're a disgrace.
Yeah, run along now.
And look, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Synapse, aren't you a little too hard on a kid's television show? Well, you know what? I can point you in the direction of someone who can match my savaging of this show blow for blow. And this guy knows his craft. He's been making fun of things since before I was born. You've probably heard of him. His name is Weird Al Yankovic.
No, probably my favorite part of the show. And it's the same
the
every
opening
week.
credits?
Yeah, it's all downhill after
wow.
that.
After that.
Stick around, kids. It gets to be much more fun.
When we were originally booking the show, this is supposed to be our big teen heartthrob, and I think originally we were going after Johnny Depp.
Well, and actually it was Leif Garrett, but he was having some problems then.
Is it the fact that I've never met John Tesh in my life, and I just promised all my friends that he'd be here?
Why did you feel compelled to lie here, Al? I've always been troubled by that.
I'm just a jerk in a lot of these episodes. We were kind of lucky that they kept the master tapes.
And they kept the deficit for the show as well.
Yes. A lot of times the network would want even the channel hopping bits to be somehow supporting the educational objective, which drove us crazy because sometimes we just wanted to do something that was funny and entertaining. You know, silly us.
I thought it was going to be a problem when the show was paired with the children's version of Wheel of Fortune because I just didn't really see a natural audience flow between those two vehicles.
Oh, and how about our lead-in? In 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock was CBS Saturday News.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Because kids love watching 2 hours of news. Let's stick through the news for the Weird Al show.
Throughout the run of that season, you still had the highest ratings of CBS's entire kids block.
Which isn't saying a whole lot.
I don't care.
But thanks anyway, Tom.
You're still number one.
No, it was Think. That was a big promotion. Think CBS Kids. Think. We don't think you can think. but think anyway.
Exactly.
And I love this, except I hate the fact now that we're explaining the joke. Like Harvey, that was a note from the network. Like, what if they don't know who that is?
Exactly.
I was like, oh, just let it, you know, if they don't get it, they don't get it, but don't explain the joke. Everybody wanted the show to succeed, except, I guess,
the network.
Yeah.
Something's better left unsaid.
Oh, my.
Every episode on these DVDs has creator commentaries from Weird Al himself, and show director Peyton Reed, and showrunner Thomas F. Frank, and that is the reason why I am glad to own this. While Al does restrain himself on these commentaries, thanks to his own innate politeness, these gentlemen were clearly dissatisfied with their own product and were in need of a place to vent. It seems like they had to deal with all kinds of unfair and restrictive mandates and censorships from their studio, along with constant time slot shifts and a complete lack of marketing. The studio didn't really allow the show to reach its full potential. And I'm willing to take their side on this argument. Al has had much more creative control over his music videos, and unlike the Weird Al show, I find those to be hilarious. Even his PG-13 feature film, UHF, which I'll admit has its own list of faults, covers very similar territory as the TV show, and it is markedly funnier.
Hey, Bobo, wanna play a game? Okay, look up, look down, now look at Mr. Frying Pan.
By my estimation, there is about 5 times as much studio-centric sarcasm on this box set than you could find on the Firefly box set. I know. Mull that one over for a while. This is my bottom line. If you're in the market for a good kids show, i.e. you're looking for something for young children to genuinely watch and enjoy, then forget the Weird Al show. You have 100 better options. But if you'd like to hear the modern music world's greatest parody artist spend several hours parodying himself, yo. And that'll do it for this episode of Geek Critique. Join me next time, won't you? When I'll discuss a much more illustrious TV show, and one episode in particular, that turns my blood to ice water in my veins. So, you know, bring a jacket. Until then.
I need a Vegematic. I need a pocket fisherman. I need a handy appliance that'll scramble an egg while it's still inside its shell.
If we left?
We're puppets. How are we gonna do that?